What is the most disrespectful thing that you can do in mixed martial arts? There's a lot of them. And what I want to talk about today probably might not be that high on your list, but I want to give you my perspective of what I think is what probably the most disrespectful thing you can do in MMA. Now we see a guy get knocked out, a guy gets submitted, usually after finishes right now. And then you see the winning fighter go maybe do their celebration. Or sometimes they go right up to the guy that they just finished, just knocked out, just embarrassed, just shattered their dreams. And they get up in their face and they say something along the lines of, "You'll get him next time, buddy. Good job. It was an honor to share the cage with you." And to me, I think that's the most disrespectful thing you can do in mixed martial arts. It is something other than sportsmanship masquerading as sportsmanship. Give the person who just lost their time. Give them a moment. Give them a second. Give them a second to hate themselves in that moment. Gather their wits back about them. Realize what just happened. And don't make it about you. Because it's already about you. You already won the fight. So therefore, go do your own thing and don't make it more about you by actually making it look like you're making it about me and making it look like you're serving me, making it look like you're consoling me. I don't need you to console me. Luke Rockhold here didn't need Yoel Romero to console him. Luke was in the worst place you want to find yourself in mixed martial arts, being finished. We all know it's a risk that we take. We all know it's what we signed up for, but we never expect it to happen. And then when it does happen, the winning fighter, this picture here is obviously funny because Yoel Romero actually went up and tried to bury the hatchet by kissing Luke Rockhold, and thank God it was on the cheek. But I digress. But it's a perfect example of what I think. And just watching it, I thought it was very bizarre. Even if he didn't try to kiss him on the cheek, even if he just kind of came up to Luke, had his arms up on the cage. He was just standing there getting wiped off by you see a little bit of blood on his lips, getting wiped off by the cut men. And Yoel Romero, where it's already about him because he just won. He is the victor. He's about to get his hand raised. He just finished Luke. It's already about him. Therefore, he doesn't need to make it more about him by going over to Luke and saying whatever he said. I don't know what he said, but this is just one example. And I've had a lot of people ask me about this, and I think my stance is somewhat against the grain, somewhat controversial, because we're all taught sportsmanship is the most important thing. You got to be a good sport. You got to be a good winner. You got to be a good loser. You got to act right either way. And I do think that, especially if you give a guy time, a girl time after you finish them, you go do your celebration, and then you guys are eventually going to meet back, whether it's in the circle where you're going to about to get your hand raised, or, there's a couple minutes that go by from the finish to the commercial break to Bruce Buffer announcing the winner whenever y'all are standing there. There's enough time for y'all to reconvene. There's enough time for you to say your piece. There's enough time. And I don't even think it needs to be done inside of the cage. A lot of times I ignore the people that I maybe knock out or finish, submit, because the commissioners are not really supposed to let you buy them because they never know if you're going to, do something inappropriate, or run over and spit blood. I'm going to say, "I told you so," mother effer this, mother effer that. That kind of stuff has happened before. So the commission is actually taught to keep the fighter away, the winning fighter away. That's why you never see, most of the time you don't see it. You never see corners rush into a cage until they kind of get everything figured out. Whenever a guy's unconscious body is on the ground, the corners are not allowed to come in. Once he gets back up, gets back to the stool, you can then they kind of let you in. But I think the best thing that you can do is ignore your opponent. And that might sound harsh, but I think ignoring them is also giving them their time. Ignoring them, staying away from them, almost letting them come up to me. Similar to when I came up to Dustin Poirier after I had just lost. he let me come up to him. And obviously there was some, some words that were said there that, may or may not have been sportsman-like, but you're two dudes fighting in a cage. Both of us wanted to win. But either way, that last fight, he let me come up to him. If he would have came right over to me and, oh man, good job, dude. It was blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, just get out of here. Just give me a moment. Just give me a second. Let me give me a second to just wallow in my self-pity in front of all these people here in this arena and the millions of people listening and watching around the world. So I think it's one of the most disrespectful things you can do in mixed martial arts. And I've never understood it. It always makes me cringe. I cringe for the losing fighter, that they have to be forced into that, because what do you do as a losing fighter? You can't then, push them away and say, leave me alone, because then you look like a bad sport. But I would venture to say that it's even more bad sportsmanship for somebody to invade my space after I've just lost the fight, all of my doubts and fears and insecurities rushing in, my darkest hour where I didn't want to be, never hoped I'd be here again, losing a fight. And now you want to take that from me and insert yourself into my space. So the Yoel Romero, Luke Rockhold example is probably one of the worst examples I've ever seen. But it happens all the time. And like I said, I think it's somewhat of a controversial take, because everybody says, hey, sportsmanship's the most important thing. You beat somebody, you should go talk to them. You should go encourage them. I don't need your encouragement. You should go console them. I don't need your consoling. Got my coaches, got my teammates. My wife's here, about to go back there. They can console me. Leave me alone, dude. Give me a second. But let me know what you guys think. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. Put it in the comments below. Let me know if you agree, disagree, thumbs up if you agree, thumbs down if you disagree. Because I think this is a very interesting topic. I think it is somewhat against the grain and maybe even controversial, because I'm sitting here telling you that by doing what we would normally do in normal circumstances, taking care of somebody, thinking about their feelings, consoling them, encouraging them, tell them to keep their head up, dust yourself off, kid, get back up. That's what we do in real life, in normal situations. And honestly, that's what you do on the football field. That's what you do on the basketball court. That's what you can do on the baseball field. But in mixed martial arts, where it's a single individual sport, I just don't think there's that much room for it. Because when you lose a fight, you lose a fight. There wasn't 10 other guys on the field. There wasn't 8 other guys on the field. There wasn't 4 other guys on the court. You lost it. You're the loser. You're the one that fell short. Yeah, your coaches got you to where you needed to be, and maybe they could have coached you wrong. Maybe they could have given you bad advice, all these little tiny little things that could be possible. But all in all, you took the loss. You took the L. You're the failure that night. So in these team sports, shaking hands after and all that, dabbing it up, all that stuff is, a lot easier, because if you're the starting point guard, you can always blame it on the center. And if you're the defense, you could have blamed it on the offense. If you're one of the best hitters on the team, or one of the best fielders on the team, you could blame it on the pitching. You can blame it on 1,000 other things in these big team sports. But in this individual sport, let the guy have a moment to breathe. Don't come up hugging me, talking to me, trying to kiss me on the cheek like Yoel Romero. But let me know. I've brought this up numerous times, and I've always had people have either differing opinions, or they completely disagree with me, or a light bulb goes off and they say, that's very interesting from a fighter's perspective. Makes a lot of sense. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. I love the dialogue back and forth. You guys see me in the comments. I love this YouTube community, because I can put these videos out and we can kind of talk about whether you guys agree or disagree, and maybe we agree to disagree. But either way, thank you all for being on this journey with me. And sportsmanship, coming up to a person after their fight, is it the most disrespectful thing in MMA? That's the question. God bless. We'll see you at the top.